Hi everybody, Elliot here with Lazy Dogs Records, entering a contest. Emma, who is, let's see, 8 Vinyl Low is her name on in the vinyl community. She's got 500 plus subscribers now, so she has a contest now called Playing in the Band from the Grateful Dead song, and she's wanting us to show 5 albums, one for guitar, one for bass, one for drums, one for vocals, and one for whatever we want it to be, that highlight albums that highlight those particular instruments. So here's my stab at it, and I'll start off with the guitarist. He's playing in the background here. Django Reinhardt, and this is a recent reissue. I picked up, I don't buy a lot of new records, but 3 of the 5 records I've got here are records that I bought recently that are new. I usually just buy used records, but great jazz guitarist. Many of the songs on this album are songs he wrote himself, and others are just kind of classics. Minor Swing that he wrote with Stefan Grafelik, the violinist that he played with a lot, is my favorite. I believe that's on the other side of this one, but Django Reinhardt, very influential acoustic guitarist, gypsy from Europe, played in Paris a lot, and like I said, with Stefan Grafelik. He was burned badly and injured his hand in a fire, trailer fire, caravan. They traveled, I guess, in caravan trailers oftentimes, but was still able to play even after that disaster. But Django Reinhardt is my first selection guitar, and that album is just simply called Definitively Django. Next, I've got amazing bass, and I didn't have to go outside of my wheelhouse for this one. First thing I thought of was Barry Oakley here, and his bass playing on with the Allman Brothers before his untimely death. This debut album, if you look at side 2, it has 3 songs on it: Every Hungry Woman, Dreams, and Whipping Post. And the bass line in Whipping Post is one of those, the way that song starts is something that you know it as soon as you hear it. Oh, here comes Allman Brothers, all right. And of course, he was a great bass player, and you had to be, I'm sure, to play with Duane Allman, Dickie Betts on guitar, and of course he also had the rhythm was held down also by those great drummers, J-Mo and Butch Trucks, which I could easily have picked drumming then, but I just wanted to limit it. So there's Barry with that very religious image there, standing above the rest of the band. But the debut album from the Allman Brothers, Barry Oakley. And then we've got amazing drums. I think a lot about this one, and I decided let's go with some of the younger musicians out there, and the Marcus King Band. And they have a drummer. This is just titled the Marcus King Band. This album is a great album. This is a great band, really. Jack Ryan is his name. It's the drummer's name, and there he is. And he really, whenever I've listened and whenever I've viewed any of their performances online or anything like that, you can really hear distinct drumming that really accents everything else that's going on. Great band, great guitarist, but one of the great things about some bands, and I think this is a good example, and the Allman Brothers would be another example of that, is that just because the guitarist is great doesn't mean everything has to be about the guitarist. And they got a horn section here. They play as a ensemble, and I think that so this Marcus King Band album with Jack Ryan. There's Marcus. There's Jack over in the top corner there. Other members of the band. Next, we've got let's see, amazing vocals, and I went back to the mid '80s for amazing vocals. This is what popped into my head. You know, ask me tomorrow, and I may have a totally different answer. But Maria McKee, she was only very young here, maybe 19 or 20 years old here. The band was Lone Justice. They came out of the LA scene, I guess, in the mid '80s. And this album just it was different from everything else that was coming out at that time, I believe. For the most part, that was getting much airplay. MTV was big playing videos then, and they had a couple of videos on that increased their popularity. But let's see, East of Eden, and there's one on here about let's see, Soap, Soup, and Salvation that she does a really good job on. And probably the one people know the most, Ways to Be Wicked. I think they did a video for that one, and it was very popular. But Lone Justice, Maria McKee, just very, very good vocalist. And finally, we get to pick whatever we want to highlight from a band, and I'll go with the Tedeschi Trucks Band. This is their album Signs. And I think what really distinguishes this band is something I said earlier about Marcus King Band, a very, very much an ensemble. Everybody works together. All the parts together is what makes this band so great. And they're a 12-piece on the road and in the studio too, I suppose, not more. So, you know, they got a lot of mouths to feed on when they're on the road trying to make it in the music world. It's got to be hard when you've got 12 band members plus everybody else involved. But this album Signs, the horns on here are also the band members that tour on the road, as far as I know. Kibby Williams on the sax, Efferson Owens on trumpet, and Elizabeth Lee on trombone. They do an excellent job. Again, you've got maybe the best slide guitar players out there touring in the world today in Derek Trucks. And he doesn't hog the stage. He doesn't hog the performance. Susan Tedeschi's an excellent guitarist herself, singing the vocals. They've got background vocalists that do a great job. And they got a 12-piece. They've got horns, they've got keys, they play other instruments in the band. So really, really check this one out. I think anybody that's not familiar with him, and probably everybody is, it's in the vinyl community. But if you're not, I think you'd probably enjoy this band a lot, the Tedeschi Trucks Band. So, as I go over it again, amazing guitarist Django Reinhardt, bass player Barry Oakley from the Allman Brothers, amazing drums Jack Ryan playing with the Marcus King Band, and vocals Maria McKee, lead singer for Lone Justice. And finally, the horn section from the Tedeschi Trucks Band. There you have it. There's my 5. I hope you enjoy it. Please make comments, anything you want to add, or maybe I got something wrong, let me know. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I'm always learning. And if you like, please subscribe. And we'll talk to you later. Remember, be kind to your neighbors. And everybody is your neighbor.